Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the monthly Town of Milton Board meeting. Today is July the 23rd, 2025, time 6:30 p.m. I'd like to get the meeting started with a Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Delnicki.
Pledge allegiance to
To
the
the
flag
flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Councilman Delnicki.
Present.
Councilwoman Soden.
Present.
Councilman Froelich.
Present.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Present.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Present, first on the agenda is a motion to accept the minutes of the June 25th, 2025 Town Board meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki.
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next on the agenda, public comment number one. Public comment number one is agenda items only. Public comment number one is now open. Anyone like to speak? Michelle Judah.
Hi, Michelle Judah, 34 Van Tassel Lane. Just curious as to whether you guys get hard copies of your board packets or you're looking at the same stuff that we have online, because the minutes that are posted online are missing page 3. And page 3 was pretty significant because it would have been the page that would have had public comment 2 from the last meeting, at which 4 residents spoke, 3 of them with concerns about economic development in the town, and then a very impassioned reply from our Director of Economic Development, who basically replied by telling us all to stop complaining about economic development in the town. That's missing from the minutes that are posted online. So I'm just curious if the board had reviewed all 4 pages of the minutes or just 3.
All 4.
Anyone else? Or anybody via Zoom?
Nope.
Hearing none, public comment number one is now closed. Next on the agenda is resolution number 53 of 2025, a resolution to approve the modification of Phase 2 contracts for the Rowland Street Highway Facility per recommendation of Delaware Engineering, D.P.C, and the Facilities Committee. Whereas Town Board was advised certain additional construction and plumbing work was recently discovered that needs to be pursued as part of the site construction for the new Rowland Street Highway Facility, which upon further review is necessary for the town, and the project was not anticipated or covered by the original contract entered in between the town and the contractors, which have recently been recommended by Delaware Engineering, D.P.C, the town engineer, and the architects. Now therefore be it resolved, Town Board, after due consideration, upon recommendations from Town Facilities Committee, Town Engineer, Project Manager, Delaware Engineering, D.P.C, and the review by the Town Comptroller, authorizes and awards the following change orders as set forth in the attached caption, recommendation to approve contract modifications of Delaware Engineering, D.P.C, dated July the 23rd, 2025. Number 1, Plant Construction LLC, replacement of W2 windows along the column line B that requires a net cost value change increase in the sum of $12,513.15. Number 2, RF Gordon Mechanical LLC, modification of interior plumbing to leave conflicts with other components, which included AFD1, revised vent piping routing, and revised ADA shower handle. This requires a net value change increase in the sum of $2,996.53. Resolved that the Town Board hereby directs Town Supervisor to take whatever steps are necessary to execute the agreement between the Town of Milton Plank LLC, RF Gordon Mechanical LLC, for such purchases and/or work and any other required change order documentation or inspection documentation which will be needed and necessary for processing the completion of the change orders, and to do all that is needed and required, and to pay all amounts owed under the agreement. Now therefore be resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton. A motion for resolution 53.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki.
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next resolution 54 of 2025, resolution to accept the draft comprehensive plan, referred to said plan to the Town of Milton Planning Board and the Saratoga County Planning Board to initiate the secret process, whereas the Town of Milton's comprehensive plan is a fundamental document that sets a vision for the town and provides goals and recommendations to achieve vision, and as set forth in New York State Law 272-A, among the most important powers and duties granted by the legislation to a town government is the authority and responsibility to undertake the town's comprehensive planning and to regulate land use for the purpose of protecting the public health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens. Now, therefore be it resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton, as follows. Number one, the Town Board hereby acknowledges receipt of the draft comprehensive plan and directs that it be posted to the town's website and hard copies be made available for public inspection in the town clerk's office, the Ballston Spa Public Library, town's community center, and other such locations as may be deemed to increase public access to thereto. Number two, pursuant to New York State Town Law 272-A, the Town Board hereby sets and will hold a public hearing to receive public input of the draft comprehensive plan on its potential adoption of the Town Board, which hearing shall be held on the 22nd day of October 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, Town of Milton, 503 Geyser Road, Ballston Spa, New York, 12020, at which time and place all persons desiring to be heard therein shall be heard. Number three, with respect to the requirements of seeker, the Town Board hereby classifies the proposed action involved in the adoption of the municipality's land use plan as type A1 action in accordance with seeker. B, declares its intent to seek lead agency status for the purposes to conduct a coordinated review under seeker. C, directs and notices Town Board intent to see lead agency status sent to potential involved and interested agencies. Number four, the Town Board hereby refers in accordance with section 180-81 sub B of the zoning law, the draft comprehensive plan to the Town of Milton Planning Board for a report and recommendation within 30 days of adoption of this resolution pursuant to section 180-81 sub B of the zoning law. Number five, the Town Board hereby refers in accordance with section 239M of the New York State General Municipal Law, the draft comprehensive plan to the Saratoga County Planning Board. Number six, the Town Board hereby acknowledges the substantial sustained effort of the Comprehensive Plan Committee and hereby extends its gratitude to the members for their commitment and time and their dedication and their efforts in preparation of the draft comprehensive report. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton, a resolution for motion number 54.
We'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes, and a big thank you to Delaware Engineering.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to schedule a public hearing at 6:30 p.m. on August the 27th, 2025 for a local law number 3 of 2025 of the Town of Milton modifying Chapter 132 of the Town Code entitled Property Maintenance.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to approve William Lewis to buy back 40 hours of his vacation time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to approve Rebecca Dreher to buy back 35 hours of her vacation time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to approve Jacob Monast to buy back 10 hours of vacation time.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to accept the resignation of Elizabeth Odaz effective July the 21st, 2025.
I'll make that motion with regret.
I'll second with Barb's regret.
Any discussion? Councilman Delnicki,
Yes.
Councilwoman Soden,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, department and committee reports, animal control, Eric.
Yes. The Animal Control Monthly Report for June 2025. Total calls 128, bite cases 2, dangerous dog hearings 2, animals seized 6, and the tickets issued 4 for unlicensed dog, 2 for running at large, I'm assuming dogs, 2 for nuisance dogs for a total of 8. Respectfully submitted, David Drzezinski, Animal Control Officer.
Thank you, Eric. Next, the assessors, Eric also.
Yes. A note from the assessor's office for July 2025. Our office has been organizing and filing information related to the 2025 assessment roll, which has been completed and posted on the Town of Milton website, July 1st, 2025. New York State Tax and Finance has reported that star credit checks for Saratoga County will be sent out between late August and early October. If you are currently receiving a star exemption on your school bill, you will not receive a star credit check. If you are 65 or older, or will be turning 65 by December 31st, 2025, you may be eligible for the Enhanced Star Exemption Credit Check. Please reach out to our office if you have any questions. Only New York State Tax and Finance can answer questions about your star credit checks. Please contact them at 518-457-2036 if you have any questions. And here's a question to the assessor. Where is the boundary line on Route 67 for the town of Ballston and the town of Milton? Properties located on the north side of Route 67 are in the town of Milton. South side are in the town of Ballston. The village of Ballston Spa has parcels in both townships. Have a great summer. Respectfully submitted, Laura Orminsky, Town of Milton Assessor.
Thank you, Eric. Next, building department, John.
Okay, during the month of June, the Code Enforcement Department managed 55 building permits, collected $12,963.45 in building permit fees, collected $0 in planning and zoning fees, collected $28,000 in sewer fees, completed 161 construction inspections, fulfilled 23 fire safety inspections, responded to 32 code enforcement violations. A total of 5 certificate of occupancies were issued, along with 47 certificates of compliance.
Thank you, John. Next, buildings and grounds, Barb.
During the month of June, I did daily cleanings at the community center, town parks, and all town offices, including the highway department, set up takedowns at the community center as needed. I did weekly mowings of parks, cemeteries, and monthly inspections of fire extinguishers and AED machines. Inspected all playground equipment at Burgess Kimball Park and Susan Lyle Playground, daily cleaning of the park bathrooms. I've turned on all irrigation systems, inspected, adjusted, and repaired what's needed to be repaired. We installed new electrical service for the sign at the community center. We've planted flowers at the town hall entrance and Milton Town Square clock. Have a safe and happy summer. Respectfully submitted, Mark Leroy, Maintenance Supervisor.
Thanks, Barb. Next, comptroller's financial reporting package issued to the town board. It's made available for public inspection on the town website. Due to Mr. Olenek is on vacation, he did provide the town board with his report. Meg, could you read that, please?
Sure can. To the town board members, activities summary this past month has shown some interesting increases in inquiries regarding potential business investment from commercial real estate brokers and business owners. Apparently, some of the promotional groundwork, which we have done previously, is starting to attract some attention to Milton as a viable place to do business. Certainly, the new airport terminal brought some very positive publicity to our town. Airport Diner. Now that the new airport terminal is officially open, the focus is to make the diner operational as soon as possible. However, a few more details need to be resolved between the operator and the county. North Line Convenience Store. Operator has received final approval from New York State DOT and anticipates an opening within a few weeks. This site also has additional land available for future business expansion, and I've been working with the owner and the commercial real estate broker on bringing in a well-known chain business who has indicated interest in this location. Milltown Center. This project has been stalled as a result of a lack of information which was necessary from the Village of Boston Spa to be provided to DEC. However, we have been advised that the application is now complete and submitted to DEC for final approval. Retail store prospects. I have had ongoing conversations with 2 national brand retail stores who have expressed interest in the Milltown Center project. However, the time element is in question right now since ground has not yet been broken on this project. Another meeting is scheduled with one of the brands next week. Broker inquiries. I have been contacted by 2 commercial real estate brokers seeking site locations for their clients, both indicating that Milton is becoming an affordable alternative for business investment compared to nearby Saratoga Springs. One business is family-oriented retail and the other is fast food, each one having different site requirements. I reached out to owners of available properties and currently discussing the possibilities. County Economic Development Grant. An application has been submitted to the county for the $10,000 grant, which has been offered, and I have been working with the firm Retail Strategies to create a customized plan which will enhance our current economic program within the parameters of the grant amount. SEDC. As various opportunities arise from economic development, I met with Greg Connors, president of SEDC, to discuss strategies. National publicity. Following an interview with the Business View magazine on economic development in Milton, an 8 to 10-page article is scheduled to be released this July. Additional activities. As a member of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, I continue to attend the monthly meetings in addition to the regular planning board meetings, county meetings, and Chamber of Commerce functions. Respectfully submitted, John E. Olenek, Director of Economic Planning.
Thank you, Meg. Next, Highway Department, John.
Okay, the Highway Department spring cleanup ended May 15th. To promptly remove yard debris, town residents can bring their yard debris to the transfer station located at 503 Geyser Road. Transfer station hours are Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is closed on holiday weekends. There is no regular pickup of lawn debris until fall pickup begins. October 15th, lawn debris cannot be placed curbside until fall cleanup begins on October 15th. Please contact your garbage provider with questions regarding lawn bag pickup. The Town of Milton Highway Department will try to get your barrels monthly if time permits. Loose debris will not be picked up and violators may be ticketed. We are finishing our project on Crick Road and beginning roadway reconstruction in Rollins Hollow East.
Thanks, John. Next, unfortunately, Mike is on vacation also. So Eric, historian report, please.
It's vacation. I think I heard he was on a mission to help restore off-track betting in the Himalayas. Unfortunately, Mike can't be here, and he always does such a great job with his presentation, and he's very enthusiastic. I'll do my very best. Historian's report for July 2025. On July 3rd, I, my companion, presented a history of the Ballstown raid at the Community Center for Senior Citizens. On July 9th, I met with the Milton 250th Committee to discuss upcoming programs for 2025. Here they are. We went over the design of a small roadside markers for the possibility of a 5K run along the 1780 Invasion route and get a final cost from Alexander Blue Line to produce 8. We discussed the 250th Marine Corps commemoration to take place at Factory Village Cemetery on November 8th at 11 a.m. We are planning a ceremony to honor the founding of the U.S. Marines and to honor a Revolutionary War Marine interred in the cemetery. This ceremony will include representatives of the U.S. Marine Corps and the American Legion, as well as the color guard for the Sons of the American Revolution as part of the program. Hopefully, we could get a representative of the County Veterans Agency to attend as well. We designed a program which will submit the 250th Committee at the next meeting in September. Submit to the 250th Committee. The 250th Committee also discussed a ceremony to recognize the establishment of the U.S. Navy 250 years ago and recognize its importance to the town of Milton. We are proposing this be part of the October board meeting. We will design a program which will be put before members of the board for approval. I helped to organize an event at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway as part of the Saratoga County 250th celebration, which took place on July 18th. Some other upcoming events: Heritage Award presentation at the September board meeting, October 11th and 12th, Surrender Weekend in Schuylerville, commemorating the battles of Saratoga. And December 12th and 13th, the 250th anniversary commemoration of the Knox Train of Artillery will take place at Hudson Crossing Park and Fort Hardy Park in Schuylerville. There's your history lesson.
Thanks, Eric. Next, Justice Court, Barb.
Charges for the month of June: fines collected $3,039, surcharges $1,635, civil fees $535, for a total of $5,209.
Thank you, Barb. Next, planning consulting, planning and zoning report, Meg.
All right. First up, we have Sophia Maruso, Director of Planning. I'm just going to summarize this. You can see the full submittal online. She's attended multiple pre-application meetings and pre-construction meetings, as well as zoning board reviews, stormwater inspections, planning board and zoning board meetings, as well as facilities meetings, ongoing application support to the planning board and zoning board of appeals applications, ongoing coordination with Bill Lewis on ZBA applications and pre-application conferences and land use inquiries, ongoing coordination with Delaware Engineering regarding project reviews, ongoing coordination with Chairman Bartow and Chairman Terhune, Planning Board and ZBA, on planning reviews, and ongoing MS4 program management. And I think the one thing that people are kind of looking for is about Lucky's, which is on Route 50, and that construction site inspection was complete on June 13th. And so it's approaching completion on that. So that's good news. Zoning Board, 1394 Armour Road. It was an area variance. They conducted the public hearing and the variance was approved. 11 Treble Ave for the Hannaford was an area variance. They conducted the public hearing as well. The public hearing was kept open for July. Their meeting is tomorrow for zoning board. 258 Malta Ave, which was also an area variance. The side setback relief requested for the addition of a carport. Public hearing scheduled for July 24th. Which is tomorrow. Planning Board, that took place July 9th, 521 Middle Line Road. It was a public hearing. Our first project this evening is the continued review and a public hearing for a special use permit at 521 Middle Line Road for the conversion of a structure to a two-family residence. They have completed the seeker responsibilities, conducted the required public hearing, and received the county referral. And they were in the position to claim it as a completed application and process at that stage. And he entertained a motion to approve the special use permit for the two-family residence at 521, and that was passed. 429 Soderman Road, which was a minor subdivision. Finally, we have a new application for a minor subdivision at 429 Soderman Road. The applicant has proposed a subdivision which would subdivide out an accessory garage from the principal use. They want the garage on the subdivided lot. This is not allowed in our zoning, and they also would need a front setback to accommodate the accessory use. At this point, it is clear that the subdivision as proposed would need an area variance from the ZBA to proceed. From our perspective, we would also need a jurisdictional determination from D.C. and the wetlands on the property. For the purposes of seeker, we cannot proceed without the wetland determination. The ZBA, on the other hand, could proceed in that area variance. This is likely a type 2 action under seeker. We agreed to let the applicant go to the ZBA to proceed on the area variance. Pending the outcome of that, they could then come back to us for the subdivision application. But no We will not consider this a complete application without the DEC wetland determination.
Thank you, Meg. Next, town clerk's report, Brenda.
So for the month of June, we had 6 marriages, 4 certified marriage certificates, 12 certified death certificates, 1 certified birth certificate, 24 in search of records, 166 dog licensing with 50 of them being online, 23 fishing licenses issued, 15 pavilion and Calvary Center rentals, and 100 or so summer program registrations. And the town share is $5,687.93.
Next on the agenda, public comment number 2. Public comment number 2 is on any town business. Public comment number 2 is now open if anyone would like to speak. Michelle Judah.
So before I start my time on 2, if we could go back to 1, because we can't comment on agenda items if you don't put items on the agenda and you don't post the resolutions. And it's becoming a little bit too frequent of a habit. It's great that the draft comprehensive plan is moving through, but it would be nice for everyone to be able to see that. Thankfully, I hear the public hearing will be in October, if I understand that right. So we have plenty of time to catch up on that. So thank you for that. But I don't understand why things are not getting posted as they're supposed to, per the open government. Something like that doesn't seem like it'd be like a last minute legal decision or something that needed to get pulled through. We've got a couple of handouts.
You go. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll give them a copy when that. Okay, so public comment 2. First off, congratulations. I read your report, and I saw in there that sounds like to me that the board has appointed you to serve on the New York State Association on Towns Resolutions Committee. So my understanding is you'll be meeting in December, right, to kind of decide what resolutions go forth to their annual meeting in February. And I think that's a great choice and feel good about being represented by Mr. Bramer to that. So congratulations and thank you for doing that for us. I did want to, I've been catching up on meetings. I haven't been here, so I've been watching the meetings online. And, you know, I did participate last month. And, you know, that exchange with Mr. Olenek was pretty telling, right? He ends up standing up and saying, quote, "Let's stop the criticism of economic development." He goes on to say, after the board had met in May, responding to public comment, not from me, from other people in the town concerned about trust, his oversight, what he's doing, whether he's getting input from the public as he's supposed to be doing. And the board responded to the public in May by saying, hey, we've all met with him before we're going to approve his contract. And we've made clear to him that we expect him to be working cooperatively with the public. And what he said at last meeting when he got upset because the public had some questions for him was, quote, that I've talked to the board, and then he said, quote, "I'm on board with what they want and they are on board with what I am doing." And then he, towards the end of his comments, finished by saying that the people who are quiet are the ones who are appreciating what we are doing, and they are upholding the values we want to show in this town. I have to say, I had already spoken, so I couldn't say anything. That was highly offensive. And then in watching the meetings, several of the last meetings, there's been a common thread that when people from the town are saying people are concerned, they don't want this development, they don't like the direction things are going, the board will say, oh, we got response and surveys, we heard from people at meetings and it was very all over the place, you know, like that might be what you're thinking, but we're getting like a lot of different feedback from people. So I just I'm not going to be as long as what this looks like, I promise you. I just have some tabs so I can quickly go through it. We've done 3 surveys, right? The Milton Citizens for Responsible Development did a survey, which kind of supported what your most latest survey is. There was a survey that was done as part of Reimagine Milton for the redevelopment of the land here near the town hall. Even though that was specific to that area, it picked up comments about overall development. Go back and read them. But I went through, the report that was just issued January of 2025 that was done at the request of the board and had a large number of respondents to it. So it's a much better sample than the 50 or so people that included the members of the comprehensive plan committee putting stickers about whether they want a roundabout. Part of that was a visual, part of that last community survey for the comprehensive plan included a nice summary with visuals. So question 11, please rank the following issues in order of your priority. You can see overdevelopment is where the concern is of the people who responded to this survey. Local economy was way down on the bottom there. Another really great visual, take a look at this at some point, asking people, are there any types of future development or land uses that you think should be discouraged in Milton? Take a look at the words that popped out, when they did a word cloud on what those responses were. But I would like to look at the report for a moment. And on that report, in the summary of what was said, a few key things. Respondents were asked to explain their choice to live in Milton, in addition to the provided answer choices. So this wasn't one of the drop downs. People talked about community character. It was frequently cited. One respondent saying it's small town atmosphere. We're here, but we're within 15 minutes of every big box store and entertainment venue you could want, which applies to me. They don't necessarily want it right here. Residents generally do find the town center to be an asset. A good 25% or so talked about that, talked about local businesses being an asset, talked about, the convenience of having the shopping center there. And I just want to make clear, we're often portrayed as being hypocrites because we shop in Hannaford and we get our gas on the corner. No one is saying, I'm going to reiterate again, you've heard it. No one is saying that we do not want development. It is the type of development that is coming. So I'm not surprised to see that. I shop in Hannaford. I'm not upset that that's there. We want the essential conveniences to be nearby. Interestingly enough, the airport was cited by only 6% of respondents as a great asset. And there's been a lot of hullabaloo about the airport. What are Milton's advantages? Quiet, rural character, small town feel. A large majority of respondents had concerns related to growth and development as the most important issues facing Milton, especially when combined with related issues like traffic, housing, and environmental issues. What did they say they did not want? Big box stores, banks, gas stations, chain restaurants, additional housing development, and airport expansion are land uses or development types that should be discouraged. Residents also indicated that large-scale or dense development, including buildings greater than about 3 stories, should be discouraged. They talked about being happy with thriving business and seeing that in the town and feeling good about the economic future of the town. We all want the town to thrive. But again, I think when people are talking about local business, they're thinking the local mom and pop businesses. What makes us unique was a question 8. And people talked about parks and local business. And again, I don't think they're thinking chain stores. Restaurants was way down in terms of what makes us unique. And I'm sorry, but I do not think that a McDonald's and in this month's economic development report, what are we hearing about? An 8 to 10 page spread in the national magazine, a potential fast food restaurant, retail chains. This is after all of you said, we hear you, we hear you, we hear you. And Mr. Olenek tells us that he knows best and that, he knows what he's doing for us. I don't think McDonald's is going to be what makes people feel that restaurants are unique here. Skipping ahead to question 12. What types of future development do you think should be encouraged in Milton? And you might say, oh, well, this is confusing because business comes out on top. So people are happy with what we're doing with business. But when you look over at the next page at the subcategories of what people are talking about, yes, they want restaurants. Everyone I talk to feels we don't have enough restaurants. I think a lot of people are happy that there's going to be a diner at the airport. But the next thing, small local businesses. And that's what they talk to me about, is what they're looking for. What should be discouraged? Question 13, commercial. Yeah, no, there were like 477 respondents to this question, and it looks like a little bit better than 325 said commercial. And so when they're kind of querying and digging down into what do they mean by commercial, the types of commercial, the most common commercial types to be discouraged includes all those things I just said: big box stores, banks, gas stations, big box development, big box retail, big box chain stores, large scale retail. We're hearing about national retail chains in Mr. Olenik's report now, should be discouraged. Chain restaurants, fast food establishments, national restaurant chains should be discouraged. This is your report that you contracted somebody to do for you. Then there was questions about 19, just other feedback, and the top response was other. This was just open-ended at the end. Anything else that you want to talk to us about? So the others couldn't really be clearly categorized. But the first thing that came up, land development, was the next most common response that could be characterized. And in talking about it was a large proportion of responses that talked about land development occurring in the town of being a concern. And what did some of the residents say in your report? We do not need or want additional apartment complexes. There are plenty of stores in Saratoga. Let us live in the quiet peace we desperately crave, being so close to Saratoga. Another said, please don't make our town the area filled with complex after complex. It would be great if the town was known for family-centered neighborhoods. I believe, another response, I believe that with thoughtful design and planning, growth in Milton can be achieved while maintaining the same community feel we now have that draws us to this place. And then finally, the town needs to focus on slowing growth. If we don't, I'm afraid we will lose our character, the number one reason people said that they're here, and small town feel. There was, after you talked about land development and community character, the rest of the responses that came in on that open-ended thing were kind of broken out over a variety. But half of them, nearly half of those remaining responses, which would be about 42 people, said that they were having concerns about input concerning communication between government and the residents. Nearly half, around 42. I will point out that earlier in the report, around 35 responses was considered to be notable regarding support for the airport. So if that's notable, then the 42 should be notable too, that people are concerned with how you're communicating with them and the provisions of services that are provided by the town. So when you say you're listening and when you're saying that it's confusing, I just wanted to provide a little bit of summary as to what I see when I read that report. I don't find it confusing at all. And I don't believe you're listening, and I don't believe Mr. Olenik is listening, as evidenced by the report that we heard read tonight. Thank you for reading it into the record. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Brandon, anybody via Zoom? Hearing none,
Yeah.
public.
Oh.
Oh,
Brian wants.
hi, Brian. Good evening. I'm great. How are you?
Well, Brian Terry, Chief of Operations Support Community Emergency Corps, also a Milton resident. We just wanted to kind of let you guys know what we're up to, what's been going on with us, and how the year has progressed. We have had a very busy year this year. Some of it relevant to the development throughout the district, increased population, all of that stuff that we all know is happening. I think you guys all got a copy of this
Yes, sir.
report. I'm not gonna read it verbatim. I'll let you guys take your time to read it at your own leisure. But just some little snippets from it. Our total calls for service as of the end of June was around 1653, which is significantly busier than previous years. We saw 1,384 patients and transported 958, which is about 57% of our volume that we transported. There is a significant portion of our volume that doesn't get transported. Obviously, it's very difficult to recoup any type of reimbursement based off of the non-transports as well. When we look at our average response times are pretty well, based on national standards, are around 8 minutes and 11 seconds. That is from the time of dispatch until we arrive at a residence. So obviously it does take 2 minutes, potentially 3 minutes in the middle of the night to get out the door. So when you add in that time, it's really a pretty quick response. And that's average. You know, some of our responses, especially around this area, are significantly faster as well. Based on our responses throughout the municipalities, 50% of our responses are in the town of Milton, which makes our new headquarters a pretty good location for responses. Our average call length runs about an hour, 59 minutes and 14 seconds. So, you know, when we go out, we're tied up for quite a bit. And depending on where we go, obviously the amount of time can differ significantly. Based on our annual volume, if we look at the past several years, there's a chart that says calls per service volume that spells out our volume. You will notice that there is a slight differentiation in the number. So these are based off of our e-records that we keep. So if you look through, so on here, I originally said that we had 653 calls for service. You'll see on here, there's 1,674 calls on there. The difference becomes if we go to a car accident with multiple patients or something like that, there's multiple e-records that are created for those calls. So the number does become a little higher. But this year we had 1,674. Based on 2020, we had 1,064. Last year at the end of June, we had 1,366. So based on those numbers, from 2020 to 2025, we've seen an increase of around 57.33% in volume. So our volume is becoming significantly busier. We have been able to handle our volume pretty well. There is a report on there as far as our mutual aid data as well. Obviously, when we have multiple calls at the same time, we run 2 24-hour ambulances. So, you know, if we have a third call, a lot of times during the day, we're able to help pick it up between the administration. But in the evening time, it doesn't necessarily happen as often. I have to actually break down the numbers to see what the busier time of it is. But overall, our mutual aid percentage of received mutual aid into our district is about 4.5% this year, which is actually a pretty good number in the grand scheme. We've also been involved in several events throughout the year already, and we have several more events that we're going to be part of. Essentially, our biggest thing this year is we're trying to focus on service. We're trying to focus on outreach. We want to be part of the community that helps with the well-being in the health of the community. So we want to be there for those type of events. We want the community to know that we're here for them. And we are focused on making the changes that we need to make to continue to grow as an agency. I think that's about all I have. Hopefully the report is beneficial for you guys to see where we're at, and thank you.
Well, I can say I can hear you on a daily basis. You go by here, how busy you guys actually are. And this board appreciates everything you guys do for us. We appreciate you guys. Thank
I
you.
got just a couple of questions, Brian. When we look at calls, types of calls, or what increases calls, let's say winter circle.
Mhm.
Did that increase your volume dramatically, or?
I'd have to literally go back and look at the numbers.
Is there a way to do that?
It's difficult because
Okay.
we'd have to search for each address. The Winter Circle, for example, has specific addresses
Correct.
for each residence. So we'd have to go through and try to cross-track every one of those addresses to pull the data to see how much volume that actually increases. I can tell you, we do go to Winter Circle quite a bit. I actually live there, so that's an area where we do see some volume. But in the grand scheme, it's really hit and miss. It's hard to tell. So if we do more calls there because we have a higher population there, So But I don't know that specifically off the top of my head.
And you would probably say between apartments or housing, it really probably doesn't make a lot of difference. If you got 100 apartments or 100 houses, you're still going to get about the same
No, I mean, because
type of call.
the population of that is really what it comes down to.
That's right.
So, you know, we're lucky in some perspectives because we don't have, in a lot of cases with other agencies throughout the county, we don't have an urgent care. We don't have a nursing home anymore. You know, those type of things generate significant volume. We don't have any adult homes.
Correct.
All of those things, you know, essentially when, for example, in Greenfield, they formulate somewhere around 1 call per resident at the facility. So, but we also know the population there is, you know, significantly older, may need more assistance, things like that. So it's hard to really tell in a community like this, where it's a very mixed community without those special populations all in one dense location. So,
In commercial, generally you have fewer calls.
not necessarily. It's hard to tell, because we do have commercial and we also have a large population of people who pass through the village on a daily basis to, you know, commute wherever they're going. So just because we have our certain population within the community, we also have an increased population, especially during the daytime hours. So it's really hard to tell. I can tell you that our volume dropped significantly in the evening hours, which, you know, we don't have that population coming into the district during that time, so.
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
I have somebody on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shirley. Joanne?
No, it's Marion Pitsis, 516 Elk Circle. I just would like to piggyback on Michelle's report. And I'm very concerned to hear John Olenek's report that Meg read, to hear that he's interested in pursuing fast food and national retail when it's not what most people want. And I don't know when his contract is due for renewal or if it's already been renewed, but I'm with Michelle. I'm not sure he's listening to the people of the town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just make a comment to that? I think